Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome into the Arkansas Football Recruiting Report. Ailey Weiss joined alongside the one and only Otis Kirk, who knows all the ins and outs of football recruiting, and this is a busy time for it. So we have a long list of young men that we need to talk about. So Otis, I think we should just get right into it.
Yeah, they had a dozen or so on campus this weekend after having 20 last weekend. Thank God it wasn't as many this weekend. But yeah, there's been some good news, and we're going to talk about that. And there's going to be more today too, and today and tomorrow. Between today and tomorrow, they should get anywhere from 3 to 5 commitments.
Okay, and we'll
We're
be
going to talk
keeping.
about the first one right now.
Yep, we'll have web stories up and we'll have stuff on our social media accounts, so make sure to stay tuned on all of that. But to start off with a big one that got announced, I believe you said today, was Parker Keenan.
Yeah, he was here this weekend, had a great visit. He was only offered a few weeks ago. You know, they had the other tight end from Oregon, and then he decommitted. I think he's going. I think he's going to Oregon if he hasn't. He may have already announced for Oregon, but I think that's where he's going to end up. But he was solid at Arkansas, he said, but he wasn't. But they rebounded really well with Parker. He's 6'6", 235, had about 25, 26 catches this year, a little over 400 yards. And he can play defensive end, but they're not recruiting him to play the end. They're recruiting him to play tight end. And he'll be that was a good pickup. They beat several schools to get him. And I think he had about 15, 20 offers and about 20 offers. And he's and there is a story up on Pig Trail Nation Hogville, X, whatever. There's a story up about his commitment with quotes and stuff, complete stats, how many offers he had. The whole stat deals up. I've been swamped today, man. This day started early, and I've been trying to see all the recruits that I could catch. I didn't get them all, but I got most of them. But and then there's still carryover from last weekend. So, that many visitors last weekend. Some took other visits, but we'll be making announcements today or tomorrow on Arkansas as well, or someone.
All right, so a good bounce back get for the Hogs. And then 2 linemen, Tegan Parzak, the O lineman you want to talk about also.
Yeah, another kid from Tennessee. And Tegan's he's probably about 6'6", 300, maybe 295. Big kid. And he just had a very good visit. Arkansas brought him in. He was in this weekend, and he's got he's another kid that's just can play tackle. You like that? He can move inside the guard if he needed to. But he's someone that I think Arkansas is in really good shape on him. I'll just be honest with you. He hasn't, as far as I know, he hadn't announced when we started doing the show, but he's someone that I think Arkansas is in really, really good shape on. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's some news on him later today. A lot of these kids, like I said, are flying home. It's raining out here. I don't know where all it's raining, but I know it's raining here. And if flights get delayed, then their announcements get delayed. You know how that goes. It's the same thing every year.
One of our producers just walked in and said that we might be having some severe weather in the area. So to just keep our heads on a swivel and be ready to adapt. But so all of these recruits flying home could adjust their times on when they're going to be able to post on social media, make those official commitments. But another lineman on the other side of things, on the D-line, James Stewart.
Yeah, now he was one that was here last weekend, and he's going to make his announcement tomorrow for sure. I don't know what time. He didn't say. Honestly, I haven't had time to reach out to him. He just put it on X that tomorrow would be his decision. But that's another one. It should be some really good news for Arkansas. I'm not trying to steal his thunder, but I'm just saying that I expect good news for Arkansas. I mean, once they leave here, you can never say 100%, but I do expect. He's 6'2", 295, and once again, he's just a big lineman, and he played some defensive end for his high school, but he also plays. But I think he's going to be more of a defensive tackle, nose guard type. He's not. He's listed 6'2", and he probably is, but he's not 6'3", 6'4". So, but I don't see him at edge. But I do see him inside, and I see him being a very impact player. And if Arkansas gets him, they're getting a good one there. But he was here last weekend. I think I probably talked about him, but 6'2", 295, and someone that they like a lot. He's another kid, kind of like tight end Keenan. They just recently offered him. I say recently, in the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, they offered him, and so that's good news there. Uh, he just he can he can get off blocks really well, and he's a he like I say, he's not tall, but he's not short, but he's not tall, but he's a bulldozer coming at you. He's a load coming at you if you're an offensive lineman. You really don't want to be lined up next to him. But James is a very good player, and we'll see what he announces tomorrow. But I do expect good news for the Hogs.
And then Keith Richmond is supposed to come in as an edge rusher.
Yeah, he'll come in probably a defensive tackle.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. That's okay. And then Rashad Silver.
Oh, man. I mean, he's a big-time player, 4-star that he's got a long list, basically who's who of college offers. Florida and Georgia jumped in the mix recently, and he's going to Georgia next weekend. Mm-hmm. He loved it here. I mean, I did get a chance to talk to him. He loved it here. It's just, I don't know, man. He's got a lot of offers. He's got Georgia next weekend. He's got a visit or two after that. So it's going to be tough, but I think Arkansas might, if they could pull an upset along the way, they'd be tickled to get him. Because I'm telling you, he's one of the top safeties in the country.
Do you think Arkansas can hang with some of these other SEC schools in trying to get some of these top recruits?
I think they can. On hit and miss, it's better when you're not going against the home state school, and they are with Georgia. And I mean, there's obviously Florida in there, but it's really better when you're not. If it's Arkansas and if it was Arkansas and Florida, even you'd feel a lot better. But when it's Arkansas, Georgia, and other schools, especially when it's a home state school, that's why I'm always cautious about that. You carry a little bit of caution when you see it's the other home state school. It's just. Doesn't mean every kid in Georgia doesn't go to Georgia. Mm-hmm. I realize that, and he may not. But I think that makes it tougher to answer your question.
Okay, and then another safety on the list of guys to talk about, Hunter Hogg.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, big list of schools. He was here 6'2", 195. He'd been here on an unofficial visit. And he told me, he said, it's time for me to realize Arkansas is one of my top schools. They're fighting TCU and several others for him. But he and Silver are probably as good as safeties, uncommitted in this recruiting class as anybody, both of them. I mean, those are two of the best ones. So when you get in the mix for kids like that, it's tough. But that's why you recruit them. It gives you a chance. And I do know both of them loved their official visit, to be honest with you. They loved it here, and that always helps. And I've said before, if you don't get them here, you've got no chance. If you get them here, you've got a chance. Mm-hmm. You don't mean you'll get them, but if you don't get them here for a visit, it does mean you won't get them. So I think it's great they got the official visit on both those kids. Hey, if they could land one of those two, they'd be in great shape. If you could get both of them, you celebrate for a year. You celebrate till they get on campus. But no, those are, like I said, those are two of the best safeties. Those may be the two best safeties in the country who are uncommitted at this time. There's not better ones, and they're really good, both of them.
Do you think it's realistic for Arkansas fans to have hope that they will get one of those two?
Yeah, I think it's realistic. I just don't. I mean, I'm sure not guaranteeing it. Right. But if I had to say one, I'd probably say a better chance at Hunter. He lives in Texas. He's closer to Fayetteville than than Georgia is. So that makes a difference. It doesn't matter on every kid, but it does on some of them. Mm-hmm. And Hunter's, but they like both of them. But I would say it's realistic, but if they don't get them, it's understandable. But I do think it's realistic to get one of them, maybe. But I'm sure not guaranteeing that by any stretch.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Joshua Banks.
Big-time cornerback from Texas. Once again, these are kids that can go basically anywhere in the country. And he's a 4-star defensive cornerback. He's a corner, though. And he's just, he's out of Humble. Tascasita, I believe it's a Tascasita High School. It's right. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's in Humble, Texas. And he is about 6'1", 180, and looks every bit that big. Maybe he looked a little bit heavier than 180 to me, but he's got offers all over the country. He's got some other visits coming up, but he loved it here as well. And look, that's what the main thing is. Every kid they're getting on campus, they all say it's better than they thought it would be. And well, now Hunter had been here before, but the others thought it was a lot better than they thought it would be. And it's not all country. I mean, it is country, but it's not so much that it's just. One of them told me it's not all cows and farms. So they have I mean, when you think of Arkansas and you're not from here and you've never been here, you don't really think
Yeah,
of the
I can
state
attest to that.
Yeah, Northwest Arkansas being as nice as it is, and
Yes.
it can hold its own, and that's why it's important. I want to emphasize that. That's why it's important to get these kids on campus. You may not get any of those three Banks or the two safes. You may not get any, but you're giving yourself a chance by getting them on campus.
Yes.
And that's basically at this point. That's all you can do. Give yourself a chance, put your best foot forward, and see what happens. I mean, but yeah, I mean, that's what you can. That's what gives you a chance, and that's like I said, that's all you can do at this point. And I think Arkansas presented all three of those with a very good outlook of what it'd be like in Arkansas, a good, clear picture. And they like the coaches. They like the secondary coaches, whether it's Coach Wilson or Coach, the coach from Cincinnati. They like those guys, and they're good. Eddie Hicks is a good coach, and Arkansas's covered there with good defensive back coaches and a good defense coordinator in Ron Roberts, and so that gives you a chance on all those kids. And right now, like I said, that's the hope you got with them, that you can land one or two of those kids.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with a couple more linemen and young wide receivers to close out the show with. Stick with us. All right, everyone, welcome back in. A couple more guys to get to before we can get out of here. First one, Will Caston.
Yeah, he's committed to Arkansas, and I'm going to tell people about Will. His dad's Marvin, who played here, but nicknamed Skull. But I'm going to tell you about Will. He came here last summer, and I was at two camps that he was at, and I was there when he got offered. But I'm going to tell you, he's gotten bigger. I shouldn't say a lot bigger. I had him listed back then, I think at 6'1", 200, but he's 6'2" now, and I mean legit 6'2". I don't know if he was really 6'1" at first, maybe he was, but he is legit 6'2" now. I mean, the kid's gotten bigger, and they're going to recruit. He's committed to play wheel linebacker. He's going to follow in his dad's footsteps here at Arkansas, and plays at Fayetteville High School. And Arkansas got a really good one there. I'm telling you, I mean, great kid, great family, great parents, just great fit. And but he'll play for Coach Roberts. There was some talk of him playing safety, but he's gotten bigger now, so they're going to leave him at linebackers, or at least that's what he told me. That's what he told me. So, and I think that's a good move, leaving him at linebacker, because he's going to get bigger. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's 6'2", but he's already put on some weight, and he's only going to continue to get bigger once he gets in weight room, concentrates on college weight room, football, one position. But I like him. That was a great pickup. Even if he never played it down here, that's a great pickup. He's just a great kid.
Yeah, I think.
But he will play.
I believe we've talked about him before. And another guy that we've talked about a number of times, Eli Thornton.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was his name?
Eli Thornton.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went blank for Eli. Yeah, he's committed to Arkansas. Eli is just 6'3", 315, 320. Told me he probably put on a few extra pounds where they've been eating this weekend. But he was here, and he committed to Arkansas. He chose them over Illinois, Wisconsin, ton of schools. Had a lot of offers. And he's right up there, probably right with Dent. I put Dent number one and say, but Eli may be number two. I mean, he's that good. I don't know. I hadn't broke it down to one, two, or three, but I do like Dent a lot. But I like Eli Thornton too. He's from Valley View, which is close to Jonesboro. But yeah, he's committed to Arkansas. Been committed for a while, and just had a great visit. Said he did some recruiting while he was here. And so we'll see if it pays off. But, but he's somebody that, we talked about James Stewart. I mean, that's someone that could fit in with him at defensive line there with Eli.
Mm-hmm. All right, now let's head to the wide receiver room. Brody Knowles. I believe we've talked about him on this show before as well.
Yeah, we have. But, boy, Brody, I mean, you're talking about he's 6'5", to just be honest with you. He's 6'5" and probably, about 190? But he's from South Lake Carroll, a pipeline. I mean, a big hotbed of recruiting in Texas, near Dallas. But boy, I mean, Brody he looked if you didn't know what was it, well, he doesn't have the weight of a lineman, but I mean, he's 6'5". He's got the size to win a lot of one-on-one battles. The jump ball, he can go up to that top spot, the high point, and he can go that high point and get the ball because he's going to be taller than most defensive backs. He goes, I don't care if it's SEC, Big 12, Big 10, wherever. He's got the side height to go in there, to go in there and be very physical and get that high point ball and win the jump ball. And someone like that would be great on the goal. He's great anywhere, but Brody'd be great on the goal line. I mean, down in the goal line situation, throw it up. KJ, AJ, throw it up to him. Hank Hendricks, throw it up to him and let him go get it.
Yep.
So yeah, I like him a lot. Yeah, Arkansas's got a chance. He's going to make he's down to 3 schools. And he's going to make an announcement later this month, but I can't get a feel. I mean, it's going to be close, but I think Arkansas it's probably 33, 33, 34, and you can pick who you want. I mean, I don't know who's 34, but he's been at TCU and Texas. Everybody's wanting him, but Arkansas has a chance. But he's someone that's really good.
Okay, all right, another one, Darian Mosley.
Yeah, Deron. Yeah, Deron. Yeah, he was here. He was on our show with us. Mosley was. And he's just a great kid. I love that kid. I mean, he was solid when he was on the show. He had a great visit. He recruited some of the other players here this weekend. And I imagine when he talks, you listen because he's just a class act. And so Arkansas is solid there with him. Mm-hmm. But he recruited Knowles. He recruited the one we're going to talk about in a minute. But Watkins. But he recruited them too. But that was a great first edition at that position. Now they're going to add some more there, and all these kids they're bringing in have got talent to play there. But yeah, I love Mosley. I mean, he's just a great kid. I mean, he was on this show. He came across very impressive, and he's every bit as impressive as he was on the show. I love that kid. I really do.
Yeah, I think that's a testament to Silverfield also. Like, he's able to get these guys on campus, but he's also bringing not only talented football players, but just good men.
Exactly.
Which is something that he's talked about that he wants to really make sure that he does is kind of find that balance between the two.
Well, you recruit your own problems. And that doesn't mean, you can recruit all angels. And somebody may go bad when they get to college away from home for the first time. You can't predict that. But you've got to, if you're recruiting good people, it's a pretty good indication that you're going to be in good shape. But when you recruit your own problems. And that's one thing I think Ryan has avoided so far is recruiting kids that are problems. I don't see that. And I haven't met all the commitments. I've met a lot of them. Well, the ones that visited, I've pretty much seen them. But he's, that's how you build the program. Because, if you can retain kids, I know everybody talks about the transfer portal, and it's here to stay, and it's real. But if you can you get players, develop them and retain them, it's a lot cheaper than going in the portal and getting a new player. And you got what you got when you got somebody here.
Exactly.
There again, when you go in the portal, some kid left another school for a reason. Doesn't mean it's a bad reason, but they left the school for a reason. And if you get a kid like Mosley and these kids and you retain them, then or any of these kids, Eli or Caston, if you can retain them, it saves you from having to go in the portal and get a kid at that position, maybe.
Exactly. All right, and then this one, we even pushed the episode back. We thought that we were going to have a commitment from him by 1 o'clock. That was what you were told. But again, the weather, the flights, we don't know what the delay in that could be. But Jabari Watkins.
Boy, you talking about big time. I'll tell you this, he's got 37 offers. He's got 37 offers. He's a 4-star, one of the top wide receivers in the country. And Mosley told me he really recruited him hard. He recruited Knowles too. But yeah, Watkins loved it here. Loves Larry Smith. That's the connections. Silverfield too, but Larry Smith, who coaches receivers, that was his big connection. And he's from Thomasville, Thomas County, Georgia. I think Thomas County Central is the name of the school, but it's Thomas County in Thomasville, Georgia. He's a high 4-star, or he's a 4-star. And I mean, no matter what you say about him, good, it defends. I mean, he had over 50 catches. Yes, as I said, 37 offers speaks for itself. And he's a good kid. He's a quiet kid. He's not as talkative as Mosley and we on some of those kids. He's more of he's a quiet kid, but he when he gets on the field, there's nothing quiet about his production or his ability. He's man, if he comes to Arkansas and it looks good, but if he does, this is a kid that could play day one. He's that
Wow.
good. I don't see a red shirt for him. I mean, I think he could play day. Well, I know he could play day one. You never know what happens when they get here to get injured or something. But barring injuries or just some setback, I think he's a day. I'm not saying day one starter, but I am saying day one player, game one player. I really believe that. He's just he's got offers. 37 offers. He's got basically half the schools in the country have offered him. So he's just as. That's what you look for. And by the way, he is 6'2", 185. I wanted to look at that to make sure I was right. But yeah, he's 6'2", 185 pounds. So he's got good size. He's he's bigger than Mosley, not as big as Knowles, but but they're all very good size. None of those kids are small kids. They're recruiting good receivers. Larry Smith's done a good job there. And Mosley, Watkins, he's somebody if you get that can I'm trying to say, if you get Watkins, that propels you to possibly get other big time players because they're going to look at this and they're going to say, hey, if it's good enough for Jabari Watkins, it's good enough for me. And that's why it's important to get elite players like that. And there again, you're going to Georgia. This is not somebody from Little Rock or Fayetteville. This is somebody from Georgia. So, and he could pick his school. I said 37 offers, but I'm going to tell you something. If he called up a school that's not on his list and said, I want to come here, I promise you they'd find a scholarship for it. Some schools don't recruit him because they probably didn't have a chance. Maybe they don't need to receive. But I'm just telling you, this kid could go anywhere in the country. And he's the type that if you get him, Coach Smith, Coach Silverfield, and those guys, they can take him and put that out there to other recruits. Yeah. And it's got to make a positive impression.
Right.
But he loves it here. And just a great. If they get him, that's going to be a great pickup for the Hogs.
All right, well, we're waiting on his commitment, whether it's to Arkansas or elsewhere, along with a handful of others. So, again, make sure to stay up to date with us on Twitter as well as Otis on there. And on our website, we'll be having articles posted as soon as these guys decide where they're going. All right, that'll do it for the Arkansas Football Recruiting Report on Sunday. Otis, thanks so much as always.